Justin as well, diving under the tower. Skylar tries to hit above, but cannot weave. Albert now moving on to Naomi. Naomi will fall. Albert look for Justin. Destinata comes out, but still not enough damage. Justin doesn't have the black shoes. Needs to try to walk away from this. Gonna walk right into R7 though. He's able to move, but he goes down. It's a 2-for-2 trade on the map.
That is so unfortunate. Rrq, they're trying to just make an outplay happen, but Skylar, as well as Vin, they preemptively use a lot of their resources, including the wild charge, and that is just patience being shown by Falcon, just juking it out, showing them different looks in order to just bait out those spells before going in. It paid off for them. They closed in the gold gap by about 1k, but now it's back to square one. Rrq contesting the Lord now without the presence of Zipex to try and benefit Falcon in this fight.
And they are going to hold down. We got to watch for Naomi hiding out in this mid bush. One other thing, Falcon has taken a few towers across the map. Now they're all going to try to group up here. Vin brings in the wild charge. Naomi annihilated. Now Rrq wants to move in. Albert able to take the Lord. R7 into the backside, but Falcon needs to try to retreat. Maybe they want to push in though. Zipex does dash in, drops some on Force. Instantly deleted. The Redder takes him out. Yellow Flash will be next. Ken though does find Clay. 2 for 3 on the map currently as Ken and Justin need to get away from this. It's a well fight, but Rrq comes out on top.
Okay, they grab a couple kills there again on both sides, but you gotta be cautious here for Skylar. He's getting to the point where he's going to start carrying the damage department for Rrq. They've got that nice gold lead here. Naomi has to be able to find Skylar as they assault the mid lane. Still, they also have to deal with this Lord marching on the top side.
On that point, Naisu, as you can see, Hunter Strike as well as the Malefic Roar. So any kind of physical defense being built by Falcon right now is going to start getting shredded through. We saw the damage come through in the previous fight, and now with the Lord coming in, you can see that Rrq, they're sieging, but Vin also looking for a play.
Oh, big wild charge with the flicker. Justin taken down. Samon's Force does drop. Albert on the front side. Ken does find Vin. This is a good play. R7 going to come back in. Yellow Flash wants to lock him up. Spresh comes in, and R7 goes down. Falcon able to defend that push.
That's a 2-for-1 for Falcon, but Rrq with the Lord and the empowered waves pushing in, they were able to get so many turrets. So in a way, not the worst situation, but of course ideally when they're so far ahead, I say so far, but when they're 2k gold ahead against a team like Falcon, as much as possible, they want to reduce the amount of kills, the amount of gold they let go into the hands of Ken. Because we saw in that fight, that Death Sonata, especially to the squishier targets on the side of Rrq, it still does quite a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, it does quite a bit here. And right, this is your time, if you're Falcon, to step on the gas if you can, right? This starts with Naomi, find a pickoff, get that numbers advantage. You're still working against a gold lead here. Now you're able to get a couple more items like we take a look, on the proper people here for Falcon. But at the same time, you still have to worry about Vin, R7, Albert just taking the brunt of that damage. And even if you focus on Clay, you still have to get past that brilliance. You still have to get past everyone to get to Skylar. If they can get Skylar off the board here, they lose a big impact on damage for Rrq. Now still, it's going to be pretty much a stalemate until things transition in about 30 seconds for that next Lord here. But Falcon's going to have to get more space on the map. They've got only 2 turrets. So right now, Rrq with a huge advantage in terms of space.
And with that space, look at Zipex. He's not doing very hot in terms of kills, but look at his items, man. One more item. Well, at least 2 more items, actually, to get a full inventory slot. He is not too far behind Skylar. Exactly. That's a lot of damage still. This is a quote-unquote late-game Harith. He has the items available to be an actual threat to the tankier members because, remember, he does have a good amount of true damage in his kit. And along with that, Lilia with a Ice Cream's wand and a glowing wand, that is a nightmare for these beefy fighters that have to close distance, that will take a lot more damage from the burn, the percentage HP damage coming in from the glowing wand.
And it's a very well amount of damage distribution as well. You have a decent amount of magic damage, a decent amount of physical damage with Ken. So Rrq has to decide how they want to build throughout this mid-phase. Vin is going to miss that wild charge. Actually, he does land on to Naomi, but Naomi able to get away. Albert holding down. Zipex goes down though. Albert finds it. Justin will fall on the backside. R7 going to keep on moving. Skylar picking up a double kill. A 3-for-0 trade and a Lord over to the side of Rrq.
With 3 members down, this is a A very tough situation to be in for the side of Falcon. Rrq are very good at this. They know you have your death timers still on cooldown. They will push and try and get as much as possible. And even once Falcon members respawn, they still have to contend with the Lord coming in. And with a Beatrix on the side of Rrq, they can just very slowly but surely siege down these turrets, and they have already begun to do so.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and lose that mid inhibitor turret here. Also the top one being whittled down. They've got to deal with the Lord as well. Falcon in full defense positions here as Rrq going to put their eyes on the bottom lane as well. Still a back and forth between both teams. Falcon looking at Naomi here. Can he find anything?
Oh, Vin will get suppressed here. Yellow Flash comes in, gets a few knockouts, but Naomi's deleted along with ZipX. Ken with the Destinata able to find Albert, but they locked onto the base. They need to do something quick, trying to defend with all they can. Push the minions back, get them away because Rrq's trying to end this. Rrq gonna readjust the situation. Skylar able to clear waves. They have another wave of minions coming from the top side. Do they want to re-engage here? Skylar still at full health. Ken, Yellow Flash, and Justin all alone. Yellow Flash gonna try to move in. Rrq with the dash and the darkness. Ken will go down. Now the base is gonna get focused in. Skylar shredding through, but no minions there. Vin finds a wild charge. Naomi does get knocked up, but Yellow Flash is here as well. Skylar forced to finally retreat, but another wave. Sniper shot comes in, just misses, and Falcon lives to see another day.
Rrq, they just stayed a bit too long. They want to try and end the game right there and then, but unfortunately, the waves have been cleared by Falcon. They knew what they have to do, and soon we'll take a look at a replay. That was a very chaotic chain of events. It all began with Rrq going for a good fight. They got the pickoff, they get the members low, and that was an insane snipe. And off the bat, Falcons are already on the back foot, but afterwards, right, despite how damaged it looks, Rrq understand that the members of Falcon have a lot of burst damage, so Skylar was unable to actually move forward and end that game, and now they are back to just waiting for the next Lord, because of course for both these teams, that comeback is still a very serious possibility.
Well, I mean, even looking at the items, right, you just need a little bit more time for Falcon to at least have the full items they need, right, at least across the board here. Now still, there was a great defense coming out from Falcon in the base. I mean, even Ken able to grab a couple kills. At this point, again, like, Granger's damage is kind of, is it there, you know, unless you hit the right targets, but still, you can see this from Rrq. They're pressing every situation they can. And a lot of it is, again, Skylar and Clay able to just freely be in the backside. And even Clay making those decisive decisions to flicker in, get those Chaos Bolts off. It shows just how strong Rrq is right now. Now that this Lord is for the taking, Falcon has to contest this if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, they have no inhibitors right now, so they definitely have to contest, but R7 comes in with a big stun. Finn gonna get that wild charge off. Falcon now on the run. ZipX drops him on force, but a little misplaced there. R7 just being the distraction that Rrq needs. He's gonna jump on top.
Oh my goodness.
Ken, very low. Ken goes down. Finn with the immortality, but Falcon now on the ropes. All of them low health, and a Lord coming soon.
Just like the joy, R7 does it on the glue in the same fashion, and it works so good.
Rrq, you understand that the main damage threat is going to be Ken on the Granger? They sent R7 after him, and during that split, when he was mounted onto Ken, he preemptively placed the Slam to ensure that he can pull Ken back, and now Rrq are going for the kill.
Yeah, the Lord's going to come in. They're going to try to defend. Yellow Flash getting a couple decent knockups there. Black Shoes does pop for Justin. R7 trying to defend. Lord is locked on. Base getting chunked. Trying to defend, but this will be it. Rrq takes game number 2.
Wow.
Match point. Rrq here. What a performance. Still a pendulum between these two teams, but this time, Rrq again just coming out stronger.
I think their composition is just so much stronger in the late game. It's a bit of the same situation. There are moments where Falcon were able to get an advantage, but afterwards, Rrq just find that single moment, they get 3 kills onto Skylar, and just like that, that Beatrix damage in the mid-game, that was insane, man. 2 hits with the Nibiru, and you're just so low already.
Yeah, and ZipX had to get so close to be able to try to put up a fight. And by the time he went in there, Skylar readjusts positions and wipes him off the map. Look at them, another clean win for Rrq.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what other adjustments have to be made here for Falcon, but even that Harith pick in the gold lane, it just struggled because of the fact that you never had that lane advantage. You know, you want that early kill, you want to be able to build with that mystery shop, and it just didn't work out for Falcon there. Now they're facing match point for Rrq. But before we have it breaking down further, we got to mention again that M4 Battle Night, it goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in-game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like most from the chest, and aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches, and you'll get Team Star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. Free access to all heroes, and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. Save the date, log in the game on January 21st, enjoy the match, and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including with your friends. And I know around the world right now, there's a lot of watch parties going on because we're getting down to the final few days here, right? This is the stakes are high at this point, and even more so if you're a Falcon fan out there. This possibly going into Game 3, it could possibly be the last game. They have to be able to adjust, and they don't have much time to do it, right? They've got to be able to adjust and get ready for that next match ahead of them.
Final days, hopefully not the final match for Falcon.
Hopefully.
I'm really hoping they at least bring us to a Game 4, maybe even stretch it out and bring us all the way to a Game 5. I mean, I think they really just need to change up the strategy. I would have liked the Martis in the jungle, personally. I think they tried to switch it up and be different, but it ended up working against them there.
Well, also on your screen right now, there's a QR code. We would love your guys' feedback, right? The satisfaction survey, as Trex, that nice close-up there as well. Yes. Let them know where that QR is. There it is.
Right here.
There it is. Go ahead and scan it. Let us know what you guys are feeling, how you're enjoying this whole M4 experience here, because it's been amazing up to this point. I mean, again, I think even us as casters, we collectively agree that this is probably the most exciting M-Series that we've had. I mean, all these teams coming out swinging, and when it really comes down to the nitty-gritty, you see it in the drafts and the gameplay and how everyone has adjusted. I mean, from what we saw in the group stages up to now, it's been simply amazing.
I mean, even talking about the adjustments, you can see that Falcon were doing some interesting things, and maybe our friends at the analyst segment can do better at explaining it. So guys, take it away.
We'll take it away right here on the analyst stand. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mirko, Assassin Dave, and Ulf here back on the analyst stands for second game of this series, and man, we have a lot to say. I think starting with the draft, I think it was a bit too non-flexible. It was too solid.
Yeah, it feels like Falcon set up the game plan before the game even started, right? Like they wanted to pick the Granger, and you can see that from the draft. First picking Harith in the first round of the picks, and that was a little bit too crazy because like once Beatrix comes out and Harith didn't even take Vengeance, he can't do too much damage in the late game.
You saw that the bans were there. Like Hayabusa and Ling, you predicted that to happen. Yeah. Granger will be picked in that match. Unfortunately for Falcon, though, Rrq Hoshi read through that, and they have prepared for it. And not only that, they got like one of the, if not 5 of the stronger heroes each role, right? Gru is the strongest XP laner. You also have like Beatrix, one of the standard pickups when the carry is banned. Fredrin is like one of the strongest, if not the strongest jungler right now. And of course the Rrq. So everything that Rrq Hoshi had in this game was meta. And for Falcon, although they're playing on their own side of the map, even when this is like their comfortable picks, they just can't win against the sheer firepower of Rrq Hoshi.
I think the main problem for Falcon was, again, they wanted to pick the Granger. They already set up for the Granger, even though they knew they were up against a Rrq, a Lunox, 2 heroes that could really just smash that back line, and on top of that, the glue, right?
Correct.
And as you can see right here, I mean, in the game itself as well, there was no way you were going to melt those members down on a Granger. Maybe early to mid, but once it got to mid to late, no.
Hey, I gotta give credit to Ken the Man, okay?
Ken the Man.
This
Up in this discussion is that Rrq Hoshi actually held their ground when it comes to those turtle dance. It kind of felt like Falcon didn't have points at all during those days.
Yes.
Ternyata belum siap aku kalau Rrq kalah, karena aku yakin Rrq kan menang. Kita dukung Indonesia akan menang. I love you.
I love you, Kak Sally. Wow. For sure, that's going to motivate them. So let's get this game 3 started. Casters, please.
What a great voice right there. And again, we're excited for this. It is match point. If you're just joining us again, I'm Naisu, joined here on the desk with Rrq and Arashi. And holy moly, it's a series, right? I think we're all collectively hoping that it's not a sweep, at least here on the desk. But still, time will tell as Game 3 is upon us. But before that, the M4 Pass is also upon us, and it's available now. Complete all active tasks, and you should reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now. Exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, and the M4 Beatrix figurine are awaiting you. Hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great. Also, M4 Battle Night goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in game. First off, complete battle tasks in game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like most from the chest. Aside from that, battle bonus also awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. There's also free access to all heroes, and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. So save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the match, and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including with your friends. With that being said, this is a crucial match point. Falcon needs to adjust here, Arashi.
We saw that in the last stages of that previous game. Actually, Naomi was able to adjust and find the pick of the Divine Judgment onto Skylar. But at that point, they've lost so many turrets, they have so many waves pushing in against them, so they have to try and get that kind of adjustments, that kind of playmaking a bit earlier in the game, right? Identify the source of damage, the source of your problems, and make sure that you can deal with them, you know, on the fly during the game. Because if you wait till 15 minutes, it's going to be a bit too late.
You know, I said it in the very beginning before these games started, Naomi and Vin are going to be important to their team's success. And right now, Vin is finding the sets more. Naomi having trouble finding the correct target. Once again, a lot of those Divine Judgments getting locked onto Vin. Things of that nature, not finding Skylar. And like you said, by the time they do, it's just a little bit too late.
I mean, looking here, the previous game, the hero pick recap, I mean, even looking at the damage, right? It was there for Justin, and even Ken was catching up. Again, he had a pretty bad or rough start, I would say, and that's something you don't want on this Granger pick. And I believe, Rrq, you even mentioned, you know, you would have rather seen that Martis in the jungle. At least you have that durability, that utility there. So I'm wondering, you know, if we see actually Ken adjust for this game number 3, does he go something more along the safer route where he can contest those objectives, those neutral turtles, especially early on, instead of giving them up here? Because what we saw from Rrq even across the board was just a lot of everything falling into place for them. But again, on R7, the fact that he played that glue like he did the Joy the previous game, I feel like you need an answer for that too. If you're Falcon Esports, you got to be able to handle R7 and just allow either to that lane matchup to be in your favor with Yellow Flash, or even allow ZipX to shine like we've seen him do before in this tournament up to this point.
R7 really seems to be the kryptonite of Falcon Esports right here, because we saw that in game number 1, it was the lack of crowd control and the lack of damage, of course, on against a Joy with a Vengeance, easier said than done. But then in game number 2, is the fact that Glue was just so tanky and so quick with the sprint, remember? So they just didn't have enough DPS and crowd control to deal with him either. So they have to try and find something, have a solution for that problem, because it's been the same thing again and again. And it's going to suck if it's going to be the same thing for the 3rd time.
Yeah, I mean, it's do or die right now for Falcon. They need to, game 1, you get crazy. Game 2, you get wild. But this time, I think, get back to the basics, keep it simple, and do what works.
We're going to find out, see what works for Falcon here as we load up into the draft for game number 3. Rrq going to be on the blue side, Falcon on the red, looking for 2 priority picks that they can take after trading. We're almost through the first phase of these bans as well. Faramis, Kadita, Kaja taken out by Rrq. Falcon taking out the Marksman, still focusing there, trying to limit the options here for Skylar.
But I mean, it feels like Skylar's already shown that whatever he gets. Yes, of course, you don't want to let the 1-1 or the carry out, but at the same time, Rrq is used to them banning that, and Skylar has shown that he can play the Beatrix, he can even play the Melissa well. Right now, it's ZipX who's having trouble in the gold lane, and on match point, was this the right choice, Arashi?
Well, I think only time will tell, but for Rrq, they understand the requirement to have a secondary DPS just in case Falcon goes for those beefier frontline composition, because you see that they banned out 2 very strong marksmen. And of course, this Rrq ban, though, seems to be quite interesting. Has Vin just been so annoying with the counter engage, so tanky on that Rrq with the crowd control immunity, that Falcons finally said, that is the main problem, enough is enough.
Well, I think so, right? You take out the Rrq, targeting Vin here. They might lock in. Maybe they decide to take the Joy for Falcon. You know, if they really want to park that in the XP lane, there's still glue available too, which we saw here on screen. And it looks like, yeah, it's going to be glue locked in plus the Valentina.
I like it. I mean, I do like it, and I think, yes, Vin was a major problem on that Rrq, and as we creep into Game 3, you have to get a bit more open in these bans, in these drafts. You need to maybe start targeting a bit more. Make Vin come at a different angle with a different hero, and maybe that'll be the kink in the armor. Now, Justin, once again, on this Valentina, he only lost his first game on that in Game 1. We still know he can be very good for it, but hold on. Because with that Rrq being banned, you let the Joy through.
That is I don't know if I can say unfortunate situation for Falcon.
They planned it, but
yeah, I guess they have calculated the risk. We'll have to see if the math checks out. But with the Joy, with the Fredrin, again, so flexible coming in from Rrq, and yet so strong. These heroes they have picked up, they can be considered prio picks as well as flags picks. So definitely not something Falcon want to go up against without preparation. But Naomi decides, okay, let's go with the Franco yet again. Given the right situations, it can still work out. They just have to, again, make sure that they understand there's a lot of DPS. There's going to be a very mobile hero in that Joy in the back line. What is the solution? Can they get enough stuns, enough burst damage, something to deter R7 just walking all over the back line?
I'm wondering if this is almost too risky of a game to see Ken on the Fanny, right? Because I feel like, again, you have a Franco picked up, you've got Glue and Valentina. Valentina's going to be looking for the ultimates to take here and utilize well, but still, even if you land those hooks from Naomi, you need that follow-up damage because that's what they lacked previously, right? You need to be able to get that kill and finish someone off because they've, up to this point, the past 2 games, they've really struggled with that. And so this also is going to be a big portion for ZipX specifically. The portion of the game where he needs to get the advantage in lane, transition to mid to late game, and really just kind of pop off here. So you can already see too, right? They do take out the Harith from Rrq, decides to take out the Harith. They don't want to allow that to happen because, I mean, in most cases, if Harith can get early advantage, get those kills needed on the mystery shop, she's usually the one to just kind of, or he's usually the one to just pop off. But Melissa even banning out. So I'm wondering, with all these marksman bans coming out, what is ZipX going to play here?
He's going to pick up the Beatrix here, I think, unless the side of Rrq decides to ban it. I feel like there's the plan, right? We ban out all these marksmen, we pick up the Beatrix first here, possibly, that's my guess, and then what do you leave with Skylar? Yes, there is the Beatrix, and it's honestly a very clean draft because Rrq almost worked against themselves, banning out that Harith, and Falcon called their bluff.
I wonder if Falcon's plan is to use the Wesker as a deterrent for all this dive coming in from Rrq. But Rrq also saw that with the Hilda being banned out, with the Melissa being banned out, that usually means that they want to go for maybe an assassin, right? Someone that can get pushed away by the go away and get really destroyed in the early game by a Hilda. But for Rrq, it's going to be a Kufra as well as a Claude. Skylar does play a very mean Claude, but we haven't seen Vin on the Kufra that often. The final pick for the side of Falcon will be that Martis though, and I think according to Trex's will, it might just be going to the jungle.
Good. I like it. I like it. I'm happy. Good job, Falcon. I definitely like it. I think the thing they're going to need to be careful though is that Joy, right? R7. He's a monster, and maybe they need to use Naomi as more of a peel for him instead of an engage, and they need to keep it tight. Once again in the last game, ZipX would go in alone. The rest of the team isn't even at the Lord pit yet. They get a little too split up. But if they can stay together, then it doesn't matter if Joy comes in.
I mean, not only that, but we saw this previously, right? Same pickups. The Joy and the Lunox complement, how they complement each other, especially when that Genius Wand is locked in here. The burst is almost too much to handle, so you've got to work around that. Falcon, they're going to be looking to get those hooks, get the numbers advantage into the fights, and really just allow this time, hopefully, for ZipX to shine on this Beatrix. But again, it's match point here for Rrq. Can Falcon Esports extend the series as we load into the Land of Dawn?
Oof. Early on, let's take a look at a bit of the matchups here, as well as the emblems. Of course, R7 with the Mystery Shop and the Vengeance, already going to be such a nuisance. But you can see that in the early game, of course, it's going to be jungling as usual for Albert and Ken. But now on this signature Martis, we'll see if Ken can demolish or decimate, rather, the members of Rrq. Naomi has that extra bit of cooldown, and Yellow Flash is copying, going with that Avarice emblem as well, trying to get a bit more of an early lead.
I do like the way Naomi's playing here as well. He's being a little bit more aggressive. He's not just following Justin around, he's getting vision for his team, and that's what they need to do.
Well, they already get the flicker.
Oh, R7 taking a bit of damage there, forced back off. Cade play down half health as well. Naomi picks up the first blood. Falcon keeping to their percentage rate, but will it win the game?
Well, that's a big play, right? I mean, already starting the tempo here. Falcon going to be able to play around that still, even Yellow Flash bullying R7. This is kind of typical for early game.
Ooh, that is good. But R7, I mean, that's all shield. That's not even a health bar.
Yeah, he has like literally an invisible amount of HP. Only one. That's crazy. He has the Vengeance though, that saved his life, but he needs to be a bit more careful. Glue is a very strong laner, so he needs to keep that in mind when he's contesting. But I think right now, Falcon is having a better time contesting the mid area until Albert makes a play.
Oh, Justin, Appraiser's Wrath comes in. Justin gets away, and these are the clutch moments that may pull Falcon through this early phase.
So they hold on to the lead here. I mean, that's twice now. Once for each team where someone got away with a sliver of health. So still, you can feel the tension here. Now, also, as we're taking a look at Vin, you know, this Kufra pick, man, from time after time on multiple teams has worked wonders. And so Falcon Esports definitely going to keep an eye on that. But the fight for the turtle breaks out.
Yes, Albert getting a nice position over. Yellow Flash tries to get in the backside. Vin will get the Tyrant's Revenge onto him, but Vin then comes on top. I mean, Yellow Flash comes on top of Vin. Ken going to try to push Albert away from this turtle. Wants to regain position. Albert goes down. And Naomi goes down. Ken as well, and Albert takes the turtle. I had a mislook at those health bars. It was Falcon that was getting melted. A double kill for R7. Rrq reclaiming the map.
It's like a 3-for-0 for Rrq plus the turtle. That is not how you want to have an early game when you have that Franco and that Valentina. Somehow, some way, they just overestimate their capabilities, and Rrq, once again, with some very, risky plays, coming out on top yet again. This is insane, and they're already having a bit of an item lead, and they continue to pressure Falcon yet again.
That is not good, my dude, right? I mean, R7 getting that lead here, especially, they're still going.
Yeah, Ken very low. Albert finds him once again. That's 4-1, a 1,000 gold lead at only 3 minutes.
So remember, right? Okay, still going.
They're still going. Vin gonna get locked down. ZipX trying to find Skylar. But Skylar hits that blazing duet and melts him down.
It's crazy. They don't stop at all. And again, initially it looked like they were gonna lose, right? They lost the first blood, but it doesn't even matter. They just keep going at you. You just need to expect it. You cannot keep expecting something different. They just keep doing this. Nothing has changed in all 3 games they've been playing. And Albert right here on that Fredrin is just being more oppressive than ever onto Ken's jungle.
I mean, I feel like Albert's learned maybe something in that matchup against Blacklist International here. He's playing phenomenally so far on this Fredrin, and I mean throughout the series as a whole. And that's the thing, right? You have Fredrin available to you, plus Vin on the Kufra. That front line and the pick-off potential, or the setup potential rather, is really good here. R7 too, you know, the fact that he was able to get 2 early kills, even though he struggled in that first pretty much push in the bottom side, able to survive transition very well, and he's back to his comfort, right? This is what we saw from game 1.
Yeah, and R7 just going to continue to harass this back line, but a nice suppression does come down. Clay will be the first to fall, but a big Tyrant's Rage. Yellow Flash and Ken now running for the hills as R7 locks on. The taunt comes on to Yellow Flash. He's going to land on top of Vin. Misses the dash. Going to have to jump off and get back to safety, but R7 and Albert do not want to let that happen. Naomi with a nice flicker hook brings Vin under and collects the kill, puts it in his pocket, and now Falcon going to try to make a move on to this turtle.
Amidst all that chaos, Naomi finds a chance to go for the flicker Iron Hook combo, and now R7 alone against 4 people getting taken out, and Rrq are still going for the turtle though.
Yeah, now Yellow Flash, Naomi, and Justin are going to try to make their move. Ken is
battle.
at half health, but Albert takes the turtle once again. Falcon having a lot of trouble claiming these neutral objectives.
Albert with the no there. You know, he's not going to lose that retribution battle here. But still, I mean, Falcon able to find a couple picks. That's crucial for them. They can still use that to their advantage, trying to get the pendulum swinging in their favor. Check out the M4 stats here. Falcon first blood rate, still, it's even higher now, right? It went up. 94.44%. But is it enough? I mean, again, when we looked at the team head-to-head, the fact that they had that statistic, does it transition into winning games? That's the big question.
Yeah, ZipX going to bring out the Navir's Passion. Vin taking a lot of damage. Ken will find him. Falcon not going to press their luck too much. Go back to the jungle, recalibrate, rethink out your situations.
For Rrq, man, they have to slow down quite a bit. This time, if they just go in all the way, there's just a lot of punishing moments here coming in from Yellow Flash with the Slam Pass combo, Justin with the Terrify, as well as the Navir's Passion that we saw earlier, just decimating them, especially because ZipX has the first item Power Spike, and for Skylar on the Claude, he needs one more item to just reach that optimum Claude initial Power Spike, and that is usually at 7 to 8 minutes, so for now, Falcon still has a chance to try and push the tempo.
Well, he's pushing the tempo there. R7 in the nest here, right? He go ahead, pretty much just leash that purple buff for Ken here. But now, I guess the big question is, where do they find their moments? If you're Rrq or even Falcon, it looks like it's going to be reliant on Vin again.
Yeah, big stun onto the wall. Yellow Flash will get melted down. Skylar picking up his first kill in this game, putting him a little bit ahead of ZipX here.
You can see the difference in, I don't know, the solutions, because with the... wait, never mind.
R7 getting deleted. Naomi misses the hook. I got a feeling it's going to be a disengage here. Back to you, Arashi.
Well, once it's back to me, the fight breaks open yet again. Justin will be able to escape, fortunately. And Rrq goes for the turtle because, as I was mentioning, Clay on that Lunox can deal so much damage to the glue that Yellow Flash cannot be as oppressive as R7, but now the engage opens up again.
Comes in, a lot of damage coming in. Vin getting melted low, but Naomi will be the first to fall. It's Yellow Flash on top of him, but they want to lock on to Justin. Justin using the Brilliant Assist to try to get away. Ken looking for something, trying to just escape, but Justin will fall. Skylar picks it up. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Wait a second, ZipX looking for Skylar. Doesn't use the dash. Yellow Flash does get the stun though. Vin with Tyrant's Rage knocks Yellow Flash up against the wall. Yellow Flash is a bulky boy. He should be able to walk away from this safely. Overall, the turtle does go to the side of Rrq once again, but it's still a 2-for-2 trade.
It's a small victory, but again, you have to wonder who does it benefit? Who has a stronger late game when they keep trading kills like this, especially because R7, look at him. It's the same story from game number 1. He just keeps going in and out, and there's no real apparent solution coming in from Falcon. Take a look at the items right here. Ken on his signature Martis only has a Hunter Strike. That is not nearly enough to deal with all the potential damage coming in from the side of Rrq. As we were talking about earlier, the Golden Staff is completed for Skylar as well. So in those big team fights, they have to worry about Clay just nuking the tanks, or they can worry about Skylar just shredding everyone at the same time. So many problems for Falcon to deal with.
A lot of problems here for them to deal with, but they are in a position, they have the tools they need to turn this back in their favor here. And it really just starts, again, allowing, you have ZipX picking up Malefic Roar. The damage is going to be there, so that follow-up from the Iron Hook, when it lands from Naomi, ZipX has to make sure he's there, meanwhile avoiding, especially Vin. You see him jumping around all over the map here. So at this point, 9 minutes in, Lord's going to be up here shortly. Falcon has to hold on the best they can, and it's going to come down to either that hook or Justin, but here comes Vin.
Vin wastes a lot, getting shredded down. ZipX unable to find the kill though. Snipe shot does come out, does not land, but a hook does. Vin will go down finally. ZipX finds it. The conceal play comes out. Clay forced to use a brilliance just to get away here. Keep an eye on Albert coming to the backside. Suppression does land down, but Clay goes down as well. Albert now up against Yellow Flash. Justin holding the back. ZipX keeping his distance, trying to lock on. R7 dashing around like a maniac. Hits the ultimate. ZipX goes down. It's a 1-for-1. A beautiful trade. 3-for-1 currently on the map. Falcon finally winning out in a team fight, but Albert doesn't want to let it go down stale. Skylar also here. Albert will take the Lord pit, but he's going to back off. A nice win for Falcon.
Everyone's so low from Falcon, but the only casualty is ZipX, and that is taken at the cost of R7's life. So for now, Falcon is still getting a bit of an advantage. If Rrq cannot deal with ZipX on that Beatrix, this can be quite a problem for them.
Oh, Naomi does get Tyrant's Rage. A lot of damage onto Naomi. Doesn't land the hook. Will be the first to fall. Now Yellow Flash and Justin and Ken need to think. Vin brought down to about 20%. Albert now on the front side. Yellow Flash on the run. ZipX with the snipe shot. Lands on a Skylar, but he's still not down. Vin very low. The rest of them come in. Takes the first objective of the past 2 games. Able to take it a big win there. But at what cost? 2 members down. Rrq not letting up.
Now with 2 members down, what can Rrq find in exchange for that? Because otherwise, that is still a very good situation for Falcon. They've equalized on the gold difference, and as we mentioned, ZipX is scaling further and further into the late game. And of course, Rrq can very easily dive towards him, using the Joy, using the Claude as well. But there's a lot more problems right now with the crowd control being used more efficiently. Falcon has adjusted, and they're going for Albert.
Oh, nice suppression. Albert will get deleted there. R7 and Clay forced to back off. Falcon going to move down onto this mid-tier 3 tower. Will they keep going? On the boss side, Lord has connected to tier 2, but Skylar makes quick work of that. Falcon now going to move, take another tower away from Rrq, and now the map is red, boys.
They made a huge shift here in momentum just from that Lord take again. The work, and you saw earlier, I mean, even when they grabbed and secured that Lord, the celebration from Naomi, they knew that this would give them the lead they were looking for throughout the game. And again, you're seeing it, right? Naomi landing the hooks here, and the follow-up from ZipX is the damage is there, right? He's got, what, 3, almost 4 items on this Beatrix. So as they continue to siege down the base of Rrq, they're just waiting on those inhibitor turrets. It's going to come down to that next Lord. So Rrq's got to be very cautious on how they approach it. Vin does not want to overextend, especially if he puts him in a bad position, because that's something we see a lot of the times when Kufra is picked. Yes, the playmake potential is there, but you also are at risk of putting yourself in a bad position. Then you just get focused down, or you get bloodied hunt by Naomi. So they can't lose Vin here, and R7, as much as he's been trying.
Vin does get the Tyrant's Rage. McKenna's there to help out. Yellow Flash will be able to back off. Skylar down very, very low. ZipX has great positioning on this team fight. Albert forced to try to walk away, able to hit the dash, but it gets pulled back to the team. A lot of damage. R7 not able to invade the back line as usual. Albert falls. Ken picks up the kill. Naomi wants more. He's keeping his distance, misses the hook, but Falcon is not letting up. This could be the tilt.
There's Albert is still not back on the Land of Dawn, so Falcon goes for the siege right here. Conceal is being used, so it does seem like Rrq want to try and do something, but they gotta stop doing this, man. The whole shift in momentum happened because Rrq took a essentially free 3 versus 5 earlier before taking the Lord. So Rrq need to understand that at this point, if you are down 1 member, or if one of your members get picked off, cannot just go with your initial instinct of just going back in against the full roster of Falcon, because right now, as you mentioned, Laisu, ZipX is just doing so much damage, and he has a lot more range compared to Skylar. So he's having a lot more success in this front-to-back team fights, because Skylar is not allowed to dive towards the back line.
Falcon's doing an amazing job at just protecting ZipX specifically here, and Justin having a phenomenal game on this Valentina pick. So really it comes down again to how does this play down to the micro decisions for this Lord dance. You're going to see Yellow Flash do his best to zone out.
Oh, but it does get that wild charge on the Yellow Flash. Vin gets hooked in though. ZipX going to shred through. Lord down to about 50%. All members still on the field. Now Ken's going to try to make a move onto Albert here, push him away, try to get some position. And Ken will go down. That's Retribution off the field for Falcon. Rrq now going to try to make their advance. Chip down this Lord. Conceal play does come in. ZipX has the snipe out. It's a Lord fight and Albert wins.
Skylar.
ZipX goes down. Skylar with the blazing duet. Naomi Naomi. Yellow Flash very low. Naomi forced to flicker away. Yellow Flash in a bad position, goes down as well. It's a 4-man wipeout for Rrq and the Lord as well.
How do they keep doing this, man? These fights are all so chaotic, but somehow, some way, Rrq find a way to just turn it around. It's a 4-for-2 plus the Lord, and all was done due to the different maneuvers back and forth by Rrq. And now, with the Lord, with the waves in their favor, they're going to make a decisive game-ending play.
Another thing to keep in mind there in that fight was Skylar, right? He has that, he just picked up the Malefic Roar, but he had the Corrosion Scythe already. So when he found the right moment to go in and slow everybody down, it was really hard for Falcon to even disengage, even though they wanted to. By that time, it was too late. They got whittled down, they got picked off, and now they've got to defend against this Lord pushing on the top side.
Luckily, they do still have their base turrets, and ZipX is still farmed up, so they make quick work of that Lord. Another thing to point out in that team fight, Ken once again kind of tries to push Albert away, but that puts him in a bad position. And ZipX already has the Renner out, so there's no defense against Skylar unless you just hit this amazing skill shot, which, I mean, at that point, he just has the wrong matchup. And like you said, Skylar just finds the perfect timing.
You know what's crazy, though? The whole time, Rrq has one single method of approach. Jump on Yellow Flash, use Clay to burst him down, and then we'll go from there. It's the same thing again and again. It's insanity. And somehow, some way, they get a different result. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, but this is Rrq and Falcon, and this is M4. It's not supposed to make sense.
Well, again, it's two teams with tempo, and throughout the series, honestly, it's been back and forth, right? One time, or at one point, Rrq has the lead, Falcon will have the lead, and really, it's just coming down to these amazing team fights, and really, who can get the resources, or even, as Gideon likes to call it, the battle spell economy, right? It comes down to those decisions, the flicker plays, even from Vin, when he pairs it up with the conceal, it's really tough for Falcon to respond here, and they're going to lose the purple buff as it's invaded, and right now, again, backs against the wall for Falcon.
Falcon is going to complete the majority of their items though here. The tanky members are going to get tankier. And honestly, I do think that in a straight front-to-back fight, Falcon has found so much more success compared to Rrq. It's only when Rrq were able to approach from multiple angles and split apart the front line of Falcon, where they're able to just confuse them and just make them think twice about using their ultimates, their battle spells, because the threats are coming from so many different directions. So for now, if Rrq can maintain this aggression, can continue to just confuse Falcon, they can just keep doing the same thing, and it might just pay off. But of course, this next Lord will be pivotal in deciding who comes out on top.
This could be a game-winning Lord here. Vin going to check the bush. Falcon trying to get in position. Justin and ZipX being on the backside know that they've got to stay alive here. Justin holding on to the Lunox ultimate as now Lord half health.
Yeah, look at that Rainer shot. Checks the bush with it, so that is one utility down already. Should still have the Nibiru's passion ready to go. Uses it. Nice suppression. Vin does have the immortality, though. Tries to pop it off. Justin able to take him out. This looks bad for Yellow Flash, though. Brought very low. ZipX does find Clay. It's the battle for the Lord, and the heat is on. Albert very low. Lord very low. And Yellow Flash finds it. A game-winning moment at that. Can they take it here? A full team wipe. And at this, Falcon may be able to win the game. They're going to push down the mid, send someone back to defend the base, and the death counters are clocking down.
And just like that, a turn the tide fight. Falcon marching into the base.
GG's, we're going to a game 4, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready.
Whew. Falcon, man. When the fight goes in their favor, when it's a front-to-back, when ZipX is able to just constantly just output that damage, basic attacking again, and again, that is where Falcon comes out on top. They show it again in a decisive manner, wiping out Rrq, taking the Lord, taking game number 3, man.
You know what? I love Mobile Legends.
I do too.
I freaking love Mobile Legends.
I mean, I just want to go back to the turn, the tempo, the pendulum here. At one point, as we were saying it, Rrq was up, what, 2K gold lead towards the end there, and the Falcons don't go down without fighting, right? They stick in it, they throw their best at Rrq, and you saw that team fight one after another. they fell apart, right? And it was those decisive actions from Falcon again, and that's what I like to see from ZipX, right? Give him a marksman where he can do exactly that. He had an amazing game on this Beatrix, and I'm glad. I know collectively here again on the desk, we were hoping for Game 4, Game 5. I can't wait to see what unfolds here, but we've got to have this game broken down even further by the boys on the analyst desk. Stan, take it away.
What a game. Oh man, we're getting a game 4, and here on the analyst stand, we're going to break down game number 3. How was Falcon able to come back after Rrq came back from the comeback of Falcon?
I want to start with the draft, right? Obviously, the first thing you see different is this time, instead of having a Clint, we have a Franco and Beatrix. You saw the very last team fight when Ben jumped in by himself, he got two-shotted by the SMG. It was way too strong, the combo's really good, and Naomi on a Franco is an absolute monster. So this time, with the instant reflex and the body hunt on the ultimate, they turn the fight around.
You know, Rrq already had like the control of the game the first few minutes, even with the control of the turtle. You can see it. There was a big blunder, however, from their side when they tried to fight into the zone of Falcon once again. And it all happened when Naomi lands all of these shots, right? The hooks. It looked really nice for Falcon when it happened. But if you're thinking about it, Rrq are actually giving them so much of an opening in those team fights. It's like Rrq are trying to win in fights where Falcon's advantage is off the roofs, instead of like taking the fights to them where they can just chill a bit, wait for Skylar to be farmed, wait for Clay to be farmed, and then take the fight.
Hey, but you gotta give credit Naomi. This guy's hook is just surprising. Out of this world. You don't expect it to come from nowhere, and next second you're gone.
That's the thing, right? Big respect again to Falcon Esports for playing with their strength. Even after losing 2 games in a row, they're still respected that, you know what, we have Naomi, we have this playmaker. This time, why not draft around that playmaking skill with more burst to help him when he, with